We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God.
Welcome to episode number 9 in this series entitled Traveling with Pilgrims of Hope. I am Father Ron Will, coming to you from Precious Blood Renewal Center in Liberty, Missouri. Pope Francis declared the year 2025 as a Jubilee Year with the theme, the Year of Hope. This series, Traveling with Pilgrims of Hope, introduces us to individuals who have experienced hope and who are striving to bring hope to others. There are many times in life when we feel our prayers are not answered, when we are disappointed, discouraged, and afraid. Life can and does throw us curves that are hard to overcome. Sometimes it's hard to find God in those times, and sometimes it's easier to reject God as uncaring and uninvolved. Instead, Pope Francis says, call on God. God is always open, is opening a door for us. If we trust even in our darkest darkness that God is working for good in our lives, then hope is alive in us. God is ready to help. After the Second World War II concluded and the Nazi concentration camps were liberated, there was a phrase that was written on one of the walls of one of the cells where one of the inmates was kept. And on this wall was the following quote, I believe in the sun, even when it isn't shining. I believe in God. I believe in love, even when no one's there. And I believe in God, even when he is silent. Those words were put to music by Carrie Landry, and you may be familiar with the melody. I recently read about Deacon Kevin Cummings in the August-September issue of the Catholic Key, which described how he and a fellow deacon desired to help women, especially those who are often ignored, homeless women who are pregnant. After finding out that no housing existed for homeless pregnant moms in the Kansas City area, they wanted to provide housing like their own daughters would be happy to live in. Their desire grew into Deacons of Hope. Today, I have invited Deacon Kevin to have a conversation with us about his experiences of bringing hope to women who feel like they have backs turned on them, and how the Deacons of Hope are treating them with dignity and respect. Thank you, Deacon Kevin, for taking time to visit with us today. I'd like you to just begin by giving us an overview of the ministry that you have been doing for several years now, and how did you get started in it, and why do you keep doing it?
Well, thank you for having me on your program. We did start this several years ago because my friend and I had been separated after ordination. He moved to the Diocese of Jeff City, and I was in the Kansas City St. Joseph Diocese where we were both ordained. But when we came back together about 5 years later, we decided or asked each other, are we doing what we thought we'd be doing as an ordained minister? And both of us said, not really. We were doing all of our church duties and faculties, but we both got into it as we spoke to help women. And the women we most wanted to help were those women who either were contemplating an abortion or were in a crisis pregnancy where they didn't think they had a choice, or the choices that were available were ones that would leave them rather unhappy, such as abortion or with the Planned Parenthood group. And so when they would go to pregnancy resource centers to seek help or counseling, they could help them with everything. They could help them with food. They could help them with sometimes, bus tickets and other things. But when they said, yes, they were pregnant, but they were homeless, that's when they fell through the cracks there. They didn't have anything for them. And we decided right then and there, I think we both had very, very strong mother figures in our lives. And we both decided right then and there, this is what we should be doing. We should be providing for these women that are falling through the cracks. They should have a residence available to them where they can have hope, where they can choose to save their infant. And many of these mothers had had an abortion before. But where this time along, they could choose to save their unborn child, and they could be supported fully, emotionally, financially, and spiritually in a home where they would feel loved, and it would give them hope again, you see. And moving into that home, the director, once we did a lot of work getting to support it, the director told me, these women only need 3 things from us. Number one, they need to be connected. They need to be connected to a site like this because they have no network. They have no family life or anything like that. Number 2, they have to also have a purpose. They have to regain their purpose in life. What were they thinking of doing the night before they found out they were pregnant? What was their life's dreams? And then finally, we have to give them hope. Those are the 3 things that everyone in this world needs. And they were lacking that the most. That next choice, that hope. What do I do from here? And that's what we tried to establish. So we opened a home with 19 bedrooms. And just this year, we've opened another home with 5 bedrooms. And we're going to keep doing it along with the help of Catholic Charities. And we think this best addresses the Catholic response. Not the magisterium's very clear about abortion, but we have to be ready to support these mothers who are coming and have no other hope. So that's why we got into it.
So there's obvious a need. If you had already 19 beds and you desired to open another one, does that mean
Yes.
the whole 19 were filled?
Yes.
Wow.
We took over another organization. We have the home in Liberty, Missouri, that has 19 beds, and it's full to capacity.
Wow.
And so we took over an organization that wasn't doing as well in Kansas, mainly because it had been around for a little bit and it had its ups and downs, called the Nativity House. Well, we took it over at the beginning of this year, and now it's full. Okay. So we have a program, and the biggest difference in the program is we also do psychological help, because most mothers that are abandoned or homeless, they experience post-traumatic stress disorder. And if left untreated, they feel rather hopeless, as you can imagine. And so we treat that first, and then we get to know the mother, and the mother can stay with us at our home up to 2 years after she has the child. So we give them
2 years.
Yes. So we give them hope for the future, and we also give them a sense of purpose. We have a farm on 14 acres, and we have a garden, and we work in the garden. We have people who volunteer and come up and help them and meet them. We have a chapel, and so we have Mass every Wednesday in the chapel, and we say Rosary on Thursdays. So we bring in the spiritual aspect. We are not ashamed in any way of our Catholic backgrounds.
What percentage of these women or mothers are Catholic?
So far, none.
Okay.
That's an
You
easy.
provide, but that doesn't make any difference. They don't have to be
Nope.
Catholic. We, as a Catholic Church, reach out.
Yes,
And
we
you're
do.
offering us support. You said that they don't have a support system or a support group, and so you're providing that support group.
Yes, we are. Whether, no matter what faith they are or no faith at all, we take them in from pregnancy resource centers that sometimes are Catholic entities, these resource centers, but others are not. But it's what they needed. Because when we went to these directors of these resource centers, we said, why is it that women turn away and will have an abortion or the next one? And they go, they have no housing. They have no residence and they're homeless. So that's when we got the idea. We need to provide residence for these women. And it can't be just anything, like you said, Father. It's got to pass the dad test. With our daughters, they too would be comfortable and welcome there. You see?
And you're providing not just a nice house or a home,
Right.
a bed to get off the street, but you're providing other kind of support systems like counseling and other activities.
Sure, education. We help
Education.
them get their GEDs. A lot of them have a job, but they're the working poor. You know, they can't afford the first month's rent or the 6-month security deposit. So we let them move in with us and build up some income. And at the same time, they work their jobs and we find them other jobs. We can get them back into school. Some of them return to school. One of our mothers graduated and she went back to school and got her degree in substance abuse counseling.
Wow.
And she has 2 children. She had to give up a few of her children because social services came and took them away because she couldn't support them. She was homeless.
Uh-huh.
You see, so we give them that hope that this time around, this time they're prepared and they have a better seat to start from. And then they are assigned an angel, a trained advisor from our facility. And these are mothers or grandmothers who go out into the community. And the minute they contact us, they're assigned an angel who advises them and who gets them to our home or gets them to facilities, because not all these mothers need a residential component. Some of them just need, you know, a place to stay, or better yet, they need help psychologically to think that I can make it this time. And if you have
So
another
you have some
woman,
counselors on site to
yes,
deal
we
with
do.
psychological, maybe trauma.
Correct, and they're trained, so that's like a small army of women who go out and they speak with these women and they find out what they want to do, and they come back to us and contact us so we can help them in community too, in case they're just staying on somebody's couch, you know, somewhere up in Omaha. We take them in, we advise them, we give them what they need, and then we look for opportunities for them. They use our network to access their needs, whether it's at our residence, which is the very, very much more concentrated effort, versus they're doing pretty well, but they just don't have that residential component.
Having a place to come home to every night, just not needing to pay rent or
Correct.
mortgage is a real
Correct.
boost, I'm sure, helping them
Oh,
start.
it's wonderful. It's like these homes are like the nicest bed and breakfast you've ever gone to. They're very welcoming, and the people there are extremely welcoming. And we have 300 or 400 volunteers who spend their time coming to these facilities. We have a nurse on site a day a week to check their wellness as far as their pregnancy. We get them to their appointments, and basically we just let them know, hey, you can do this. You can do this. Others have done it, and you can do it too. And since last year, we've had over 35 infants born to our facility in Liberty. So we're very proud of that.
Wow.
Yes, that's what gives us hope.
It gives you hope that also that you have so many volunteers, so many people who are interested in walking with these pregnant mothers.
Absolutely. And in Kansas, that's what they call it, walking with moms in need. And so these women and men come out and they help us, and they fill in on weekends. They might keep the baby and rock for a while with it while the mother goes to an appointment, or they might be taking a class in the facilities, because we offer classes and courses for them. And so they know somebody's there to help them. And these are very loving women. These are mothers and grandmothers who've had their children. And some of these women have had a difficult life too. They may have had an abortion. They may have had a daughter who did. And this time around, when they hear this in the pews at churches or the Respect Life committees at churches, they want to do something. And this time around, they can. They can do something. They can be a very big part of this. And because of it, we have an awful lot of volunteers who want to help us out.
I'm amazed at how many volunteers you have.
Yes, it is amazing.
Do they step forward just by word of mouth, or do you actively recruit?
We actively recruit. I've given homilies in maybe 20 or 30 churches in the greater Kansas City, St. Joseph Diocese and the Kansas City, Kansas Diocese, where we actively recruit women who we say, listen, I know you're hearing me talk about this and you're thinking, I'd love to do something, I just don't know what I can do. Well, here's your opportunity to do something for them and for yourself, because it gives you hope too, you see?
Boy, I bet it does. For those volunteers, it must feel fulfilling to be to offer some kind of support to somebody going through crises, and they know what they're offering is really worthwhile because
Correct.
of being mentored. So, if that's the right word, under you.
Yes. They go out and they are an active group of individuals, and they meet once a year in prayer, and they're trained by, basically counseling and psychology specialists. So they're prepared to know what to say and not to overdo it. You see, these women are coming from places you cannot imagine. Everything from sex trafficking to prostitution to abuse by their spouses. And it's so saddening, but you realize they're coming out of this. They're coming up from this, and you have the opportunity to be that helping hand to pull them up.
It's great that these volunteers are being trained by
Yes,
professionals. So the kind of words and the kind of activities they offer are really most helpful.
absolutely, Father. These women, I was telling you earlier, post-traumatic stress disorder is only one of the ailments that they have. Many of them come from very, very difficult backgrounds at home and on the streets. And because of that, they are difficult to treat. These are not these are not your everyday people. These are people
Okay.
who are very hardened by what they've experienced. And because of that, the only thing that cuts through it at all times is love. Is
Wow.
love. Everything else, they might reject it. We've had women come in the worst shape, turn around at the door and leave because they cannot believe there could be a place like this on earth. And
Wow.
they can't accept it. So we know how difficult it is even for our volunteers, and we train them for that.
Mhm.
It might be a bad day, but tomorrow will be a better day. You'll see. You see?
So you're helping your volunteers to accept rejection or deal with
We
rejection.
we absolutely do. And Dr. Lohr is a psychologist for 35 years with foster care in Kansas. And he runs this and he realizes very much we're not just treating the mothers, we're treating the volunteers because they're getting hope again too. And they're
Ah,
coming to somewhere that they actually get truly almost like deliverance. It's they come in and everybody who comes out and visits us on our campus, they always come back. They
mm.
always come back. It truly is. And it's redemption. It's a site of redemption. And we enjoy it there. And we get the same people coming to Mass. Quite often, they may or may not volunteer, but they come and pray for us. As
Ah,
we have many people who pray for us in this ministry, you see.
mhm.
And now the Deacons of Hope that I represent, these are other deacons who are in parishes already. Well, we encourage them to work within the Respect Life group of their parish. And if they don't have a very active one, like I did at Cherry of Ours Parish, take it over. Take over the Respect Life group.
Mm.
Bring more interest into it because deacons have a very unique role in coming from the laity and bringing the laity with them. And so when we get into this involvement, they want to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Well, they begin to get interested and you build up a relationship with the laity and they begin to volunteer and look for other available outlets for them to help you as a deacon. And so we have other deacons that are doing this and we're trying to spread the word because we're a decreed organization in the United States by Archbishop Naumann as a public clerical association of Christ faithful, just like the
Mm.
SOLT priest. And so we go to different dioceses and we tell them, how did we do this? What did it take? Where did we start? And we give them our model so that hopefully they can bring that into their community too, just as we
So
did.
you have the Deacons of Hope has really expanded beyond the two of you who
Oh,
started.
yes. Yeah.
Approximately how many Deacons of Hope
Well,
are there?
we if we had more time to just be Deacons of Hope as an organization, there'd be a lot more. But we've held meetings and groups And what we're trying to do is we are completely backed by the Archbishop in Kansas and the Bishop James Johnston in Missouri. They have both been to our facility and said Mass there multiple times. And they
Okay.
love what we're doing. So they're using some of their ability to spread the word, like to Catholic Charities. You see, and we're looking at maybe putting a home on a Catholic Charities community center that are beginning to open, so that these mothers can also access some of the things Catholic Charities offer, such as counseling and well baby care and things that Catholic Charities already does, but they need to have that housing element to get them over that crest. And so we're working with them too. It's spreading quite well. So we probably have 20 active members of Deacons of Hope. We'd have a lot more if we were recruiting, but we plan to be doing that very soon.
Now, everything we've been saying here kind of unconsciously flows from what Jesus teaches us to do, but are there some teachings specifically from Jesus that filter into your life during these times, being a Deacon of Hope?
Oh yeah, very much so. Our liturgy of the hours. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't read something as if, our hope is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. And our hope, it's the one of the three things that people, again, they can be connected and they can also have a purpose. But if they don't think they can make it, if they don't think they can do it this time, they're hopeless. And what we do is we show them tangibly where the hope lives, where they can go from here. And we show them with not only our support, but the support of the volunteers and the support in every way to make this happen. And it's from medical care to dental care. We try to leave no window closed for them. In other words, we open all the windows, we let all of them in. And the bottom line is, when they're done, they are prepared to move on back into their community and succeed. And if they have a bad day or something goes wrong, they can always call on us. We're their family. We're the ones who will be there no matter what. And we're there for them if they have a failure. And we enjoy that. We enjoy meeting up with them again and them coming back to us. Some of them are still being treated on therapy that have been gone for a year or more.
Oh, okay.
You see, they come back to Dr. Lohr and they seek help again for the same reason they did before, but they're on much sounder ground. They know where to get the help and they know it works. So
I'm thinking of when Jesus started his public ministry, he started out by proclaiming that he had been sent to bring good news.
correct.
He had been sent to proclaim liberty to captives,
Yeah.
etc. It's kind of his mission statement as he started his public ministry.
Correct.
And we're called to carry on or to buy in to his mission. And it seems like what you're doing is very much liberating captive women who
Yeah.
have this poor support system, poor self-image, psychological concerns, and you're offering freedom. You're offering
Correct.
resources.
It's like when the apostles began the diaconate with Saint Stephen, and they decided, well, we're all busy evangelizing and preaching. We need someone to take care of the church purse, so to speak, and actually feed the widows and the orphans. Well, that's what we're seeing. Today's widows are the mothers without a husband or home, and today's orphans are the unborn.
Yeah.
So we're basically going to the widows and the orphans 2,000 years later and saying, you are not alone. You have people who love you and people who say you are precious in the eyes of God. You are precious in our eyes. We're here to help you and we'll do all that we can. And as Christ said, I didn't come here to heal those who are well. I came here to treat the sick and the wounded these are so severely wounded women. And
Mm.
when they get to us, they just begin to light up. They really do. They show their true hope, and their colors change, and they become something that maybe at one point they dreamed they'd become in life, but now they've got their hope back again. And we, as you can imagine, Father, we enjoy it tremendously. We've opened a thrift store, Mission Thrift Store, up on 72nd and North Oak. And when they don't have clothes, we send them over there for clothes. And when they need a job, we have them work there a couple of days a week. In other words, we slowly get them back into a community where they know, I can do this. I can do this. And I have people helping me, but that's the key. People are going to help me, and I'm going to rely on them too.
I can imagine that after these women are with you for a while, their facial expression, their whole body language changes. There's probably a more lightheartedness than when they walked in that first day.
Very much so, Father, very much so. By the time, and by the time they deliver their baby, you know, a lot of people have basically postpartum anxiety, depression.
Mhm.
I don't see it as much with these women because
Oh,
those things that would make them depressed, they have mostly been solved before they have their baby. They return to a home where they have a crib in the suite next to them. Some of
okay.
these women have other children. They can bring their children with them. So they have another room where their children can be, and then the mother can have the infant there until
Okay.
again, they get back on their feet. They find work. They find out that they can, uh, they can start to believe in their dreams again. And
What you
that's
are
what we
doing
try
is
and
wonderful work. If any of our listeners were aware of a woman in crises,
do.
how would they contact you, or how would they contact St. Mary's Home
The
for Mothers?
easiest way, Father, is you've probably seen signs either in parishes or even billboard signs where it says pregnant, need help. That's a phone number. That's our phone number,
Oh,
actually. And it's
okay.
associated with the first thing that was started, which was the Gabriel Project. The Saint Gabriel came to the Blessed Virgin Mother and said, I got this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And now it's moved into our home called St. Mary's Home for Mother. If you go online and just Google St. Mary's Home for Mothers, it'll give you a list of things of what you need to do, who to contact, where to go. It will also, if you go to any pregnancy resource centers, there's about 12 or 13 of them in the greater Kansas City area, and you tell them, I need help, but I don't have a home. All 13 of them will contact us and let us
Mm.
know we have someone who is looking for residential facility. And because of that, we have gotten other facilities too that have been basically allotted to us from other churches, Baptist, evangelical. They have hotels, they have motels, they have rooms or condominiums or townhouses that they can let us have during a traumatic or a crisis period for a month or two until we have a spot come open at our home. You see?
Mm.
So we use all these other facilities of other churches. We have many different religions who come and volunteer at our home, and they throw uh, financial fundraisers and things like this for us.
Mm.
So we use all of the people who are children of God who want to help because of that. They know God and they know I'd like to help in your efforts.
That's great. They see you're doing good work and they want to be part of the good work, and they want to help in whatever way they
That
can.
they do.
Well, this has been great visiting with you, Deacon Kevin, and I compliment you on being a real source of hope, a pilgrim of hope. And when things are going well, it's easy to believe in hope. But when things are beyond our power to control or affect, our human tendency is to throw up our hands and retreat. But on the contrary, Pope Francis clearly stated, when we place our hope in Jesus, he will not leave us abandoned. Even in the midst of trials, we can rely on God's goodness and attention. The smallest actions done in hope and trust make a difference. Hope is the key, Pope Francis told us. So thank you, Deacon Kevin, for being a pilgrim of hope in some very challenging situations, I know. And I invite all of you listeners to join me again next month as I continue this series of traveling with another pilgrim of hope.
We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are